As always, don't forget to check the links in the description box below for the best prices on the tools and parts used in today's video. Hey guys, so today we're doing work on a 2007 Toyota Camry. We're changing the radiator. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so the first step we want to do is this air intake tube piece. There's two bolts right here and right here we want to take out is 10 millimeter. So I already loosened this and took it out, so we just pop those out, and then this just slides off, and you can see that end piece there connects right down there. All right guys, so the next step is there's 4 bolts you got to remove. One here, one here, one here, and then one right there. And then after you remove those, there's 3 bolts on the hood latch. One right there, you can see I've already loosened it. That one in the middle I've already taken out, and then that one right there, you see I've already loosened it. Take those out, and then this plastic piece, you can see it's loose, will come up. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like once we take that plastic piece off. Something I want to show you real quick is on the horns. I don't know if you can see that, if that'll focus. There's a little connector piece right there, and then there's one on that side too. You just unclip that and that'll let that come free. The next steps we want to do is we want to take this electrical connector off the fan. We want to remove this radiator hose. We want to remove this radiator hose, and we want to remove this hose, which goes to your coolant reservoir tank. Alright guys, so quick note, on top of this connector that I told you how to take out, there's these little plastic clips right here. One right there, there's one right there, and then there's actually another connector down here I didn't see at first, just so you just make sure you want to pop those out to be able to get the fan off. Alright guys, so now that we took the fan assembly out, you can see it over there. The next step is, if you look down right here and right there, there's 2 transmission lines, hose lines that we need to remove, and after we remove those, the radiator should pull right out. Alright guys, quick note on those transmission lines. Those clamps were kind of hard to get to, so what we did for the one on the right, we took this tool, it's called a radiator hose clamp tool, and we reached around to the bottom and clamped it and spun it towards the top where we could actually reach it, and then we were able just to use pliers to clamp, regular pliers to clamp the hose clamp and remove the hose. And then this one on the left here, we actually had to put gloves on and take our hands and squeeze it and turn it around to get it on top to where we could use pliers to remove it. All right guys, so after we remove those, the next step is this bolt here and this bolt here is the last 2 bolts that are holding the radiator in, and those are 10 millimeters, so we just want to remove those. All right guys, so real quick, we did these 2 bolts on top that I told you, and then the radiator was still snug in there, we couldn't pull it out. So if we come over here and look at the new radiator, there's a bolt right there on the bottom and a bolt right there on the bottom that we didn't see. So if you come over here to the car, it's going to be kind of hard to catch it on camera, but right down there,
and you can reach your arm in there and fit, it's no problem.
Yeah, and then on this side, I don't know if the camera can pick that up, there's one on the other side as well, and those I believe it's 10 millimeters, so you just reach your hand down there, use a wrench, take those out, and that should free up the radiator for you to be able to pull it out.
Okay, all right, so we're down to the nitty-gritty, we're almost done. I just want to show you what it looks like for me to get on those tins. So I took this little 10 millimeter gear wrench, amazing, and I just reached down in there. If you have big arms, like my arms, I'm not Dwayne Johnson just yet, but my arms were able to fit down in there. The book says take the bumper cover off, so I'm guessing if you have really big arms and you push this too hard, you might crack some stuff. So, but I was able to get in there. You just come down like this, and just like at this angle with that wrench, I had no problem taking it off. I broke it loose, and then I reached down like this, and just twist it with my fingers on that one. This side is even tighter. Again, I didn't have any issue. I just pulled that forward, kind of went down like that and pushed forward. And this is what it looked like when I was working on it. So I was able to get my arm in there without taking the whole bumper off. Again, the book says take the bumper off. We're not doing that because we're able to just kind of fit down in there. Now, you're gonna grab on your condenser, your air conditioning condenser. You're just gonna kind of pry it off there. Make sure it's not on there, and we lift up, and now we can see our radiator's free. Now, the fun part begins. We just don't want to leak too much on this parking lot, and we're not using the catch fan. Go ahead and use the catch fan, but we're gonna grab this hose, and probably need to grab pliers. Okay. Oh, and what I just did there, so I took some pliers. You can also take even like a circle pick and kind of pull on it. Just be careful not to tear the hose up. But I just came down here, grabbed on it like that, and just kind of twist till the connection broke loose. Came here. This one's a little bit easier. Again, be real careful with that hose. And now I'll just grab and pull. Boom. And then we'll stick this up here. Don't want to leak a whole lot. And then, oh, this connection didn't break loose. Okay, so now you can see I got my little pick. Apparently it didn't break loose when I did it before. I'm just working my way around there. I'm being real careful not to hurt this hose. And I mean, you do have to give it some force. But basically, from just being on there so long, you know, it kind of builds its own little connection. So let's see how it feels now. Can you go ahead, use my hands again. Oh yeah, it's broke loose now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it, and then we're just gonna lift these guys up again. We don't want to get fluid all over the place. And then we're ready to pull this radiator out. So all we got is this hose right up here. I'm gonna lift it, and then, oh, there we go. This is the money shot right here. This is where we take our little thumbnail. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our old radiator, look at our new radiator, transfer everything over. For example, we have these little rubber mount things. We probably got two on the bottom too. And we're just gonna make sure we put all old stuff on. We're gonna come over here. This nice radiator hose. Let's take him off. Back on it. Also, we always use brand new hose clamps when we go back on. Just to ensure there's no leakage, because you hate to have it come back, you hate to have a leak. So we like to do that. That's the first shop I ever worked in. They taught me to do that, and I've always just kind of carried it along. And it just makes it work a lot better. We got just the little bottom pieces. We'll slip them on. And then, you know what? I just tried to stick one in, and it's not sticking in, so come over here. What we'll do is we'll just set these back. You can see where they fit right down in there. So we'll just set it in there. We'll set both of them in there, and then we'll set the radiator down into it. And then we've got these little rubber pieces here on our transmission lines. So you just make sure you take them off. And now we are ready to put this thing back in. Another thing, well, you can see they marked it, but I always like to make sure those are tight just in case. So now we'll set this thing back in. Let's see. Just be able to drop her in here. Ta-da! Okay, so now all I'm doing here is I'm putting my condenser back on the radiator. Real quick though, we're also putting our lower radiator hose back on. We're gonna want to face this clamp the easiest way, so I'm gonna point this up. Just set them on there. Go ahead, put your hose back, and of course we got our hose down there with our new clamp, and we'll just set that right there. Now I've got these sweet little bolts. I'm gonna go ahead. It's got a little notch right there that the AC condenser sets up onto. So we'll lift it up. Now you can see it fits in its notch. It's on the notch on both sides. So now we'll just start our little bolt Got that one. And we'll start this one. And then the fun ones are on the bottom. So, we ran out of battery today. That's why we're not using the Milwaukee. It's all manual labor today. So I'm gonna reach down right here. Gonna start this one. And then come over this side and start my last one. And then we'll just tighten them down. Okay, y'all, we just put the fan in. This is the old one. I just want you to know there's like these little feet that just slip in here and here. And then once you have that lined up, you just snap it back into here, like the same way you took it off. And I'll show you too. The only thing we really got hung up on was this radiator hose. So what we did was we just kind of, other Jordan just kind of pushed it while I worked around it. So just kind of have someone push this out of the way, or I mean, you could do this by yourself too. You don't have to have somebody push out of your way, but that's pretty much it, y'all, for getting this in here. Then you're gonna want to remember, let's go over here, grab our little guys right here, make sure we plug these back in. Toyota makes it easy, kind of color coded. Snap, snap, make sure you snap these back in. Snap, snap, click, click, and we're ready for the next step. We could probably go ahead and put this back on. We need to get that other clamp